Good morning, YouTube family. How everybody doing this morning? Coming to you live from my office. Just got finished writing. Just got finished doing a couple searches on YouTube. I want to speak to you all this morning about this guy Hassan Campbell again. He's back on the radar again. Apparently, if you all know the rapper Styles P from the Locks, one of my favorites. I guess he had some words for Mr. Campbell. Um, I'm gonna play some of what he said, and then I'll come back.
So I can't be questioned when it comes to that. So when you asking me about what's happening with y'all fucking Bloods and Crips and all of that other shit, I don't fucking know, bro, and I don't care. I'm out here every day trying to get the youth out of that direction. You know what it's like to be behind a wall? Why the fuck you ain't telling the kids, get a job, nerd up, nigga? That's what I do. That's what I'm out here doing. That's me. That's me, brother. Like you gotta relax yourself and stop projecting. You get on here with your big arms, you're blogging, talking.
He said the big arms. So I got this clip from Forgotten Kings TV 2.0. Shout out to them. Uh, hopefully they'll won't strike me or whatever. But Styles P pretty much he kept himself together during this interview or doing this. I think he put this on his what is it Instagram, I think it was. But he kept his composure. But I could tell that he was really upset from a person that I can understand another person who's normally pretty quiet when it comes to this type of stuff. Uh, Probably held it in long enough. I could tell that he was upset, but he held it back pretty good. But basically, he was addressing Hassan Campbell because Hassan cannot seem to keep this man's name out of his mouth, and apparently there's a lot of uh, mistruth, lies, I guess you can say, that he's saying about this guy. And Styles P, he's just trying to explain that he's all about the kids. He has his juice bars. He's doing this, that, and the other for the kids. He's in the community, and he's just trying to avoid any kind of drama like this. I'm gonna play a little bit more, and then I'll get back to it.
Too much about behind the wall. Nigga, you a blogger. Keep blogging. It ain't nothing wrong with that. That's a good fucking thing. You got yourself a job. You're doing good. You got fans. You got people. Now you're all this confused, quick. Like, yo, I'm gonna tell the Madison Square Garden and the versus people of this, yo, this is questionable. I don't know if, like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Grow up. And you never heard me say anything bad about Bully. I love him. If the public know about him, it's cause it ain't cause I said something about it. So you know what I'm saying? Grow the fuck up. The big problem with y'all niggas in that set, and a lot of y'all, and no disrespect, I'm an old school New Yorker, so I don't know shit about. I'm like old school New Yorker. You understand what I'm saying?
Now, this is a prime example of somebody who was obviously gang affiliated, who has started off more than likely in gangs. I hear a lot of the gang terminology, and later got into rap with the group The Locks, Chic, and Stop and Jadakiss. Um, Platinum recording group. I'm pretty sure they have at least one platinum single. Um, this is a prime example of a guy who started from the very bottom, who's now at a point in his life where he can actually make some changes with the youth that are coming up like he did. So I could understand wholeheartedly why he's so upset about this guy Hassan Campbell dragging his name through the mud. You know, um, I think he's has every right in the world to come out and you got to see the whole video. I think the whole video may be on his Instagram, But like I said, I got this from Forgotten Kings TV. Um, I think Hassan Campbell, I said before, I thought he had some good points, but when you constantly come at people with these allegations and that Styles P might be a snitch or whatever. I mean, Styles P is like, you know what? I don't even affiliate myself with even saying the word snitch. I don't even, he's like, I'm completely out of that zone. My mind is somewhere else, and he's doing everything he can to stay away from that life. Um, so at this point, I gotta say that Hassan Campbell is probably 70% clout chasing, 30% for the people. You know, because it's not just Styles P. He's still making videos about Kwame Brown. He's still talking about other people, just so reckless. And when you have somebody reckless like that, just trying to drum up drama all the time, they're more than likely looking for views. So, you know, that's my opinion on it. Excuse me. Another person I wanted to talk about real quick is Dr. Umar Johnson. I'll probably stay a little bit longer on him. And this clip is actually coming from. Excuse me. I just ate the rest of my gumbo I made on Sunday, so that's why I'm burping and you know, still got that spicy taste in my mouth. This clip is coming from. Where's it at? Oh, before I go any further, man, I just gotta say I got a message from. I talk about some. I think I focus too much on trolls and whatnot. I just got a message from a lady. I can't find the comment, but shout out to you. She said something. She said she's been looking at my videos and she got on one video and she said this is the first time I seen you smile. And I guess I was talking about my grandma. She said it took your grandma to bring that smile. And she said something about Geechees and all that. Shout out to you, man. If I find the comment, I'll go ahead and comment back and show some love. But I get a lot of comments like that these days. So I gotta show more of the. I gotta talk more about the positivity that I'm receiving. Um, so yeah, here's. I think this is the clip. Hold on. Commercial.
Baby, I'm so sorry. I'm questioning these. Do you want me to get with you? Today, especially in our age group, men are not behaving like men and women are not behaving like women. So, what do you think? Like, what tips do you have for that? Or why do you think this is an issue?
Okay, before I get into it, this is a clip from 60 million views. And this is Dr. Umar Johnson talking about homosexuality kills black men identity. So let me play a little bit of this.
Are you speaking particularly of the sexual confusion? Or no? I'm not.
I mean, whatever you want to give us. There's so many reasons.
Well, America is in the midst of a genocide campaign against African people. The sexual confusion is in the service of that genocide campaign. This whole LGBTQ movement is nothing but a weapon of genocide. Everybody knows that a gay black man has a 50% chance of contracting AIDS. And although AIDS victims are living longer, they're still dying younger than everybody else. So homosexuality for the average black man is a death sentence. And that's a conversation that black America is not having. Atlanta, Georgia has an AIDS epidemic amongst its gay black males that rivals the AIDS rate in many second and third world nations. We're not looking at the medical ramifications of that lifestyle. We're not looking at it, particularly for black males. You see, because you only need one black man to impregnate dozens of black women. That's how slavery operated. When America outlawed the importation of Africans in 1808, it went to a slave breeding farm system. They would breed us. They only needed one buck, and it was his job to impregnate all of the women. This is what.
So I'm gonna stop right there for a second. One thing he said in particular is we're not talking about, you know, homosexuality in the black community for black men being a death sentence. Um, as far as HIV/AIDS goes, he said that we're living longer these days with AIDS, but we're still dying earlier than the average population. Um, and I don't know a whole lot to speak on this, but I do know that from what I've heard and what I've seen, places like Atlanta, Georgia, where the African American male homosexuality population is pretty high. I have heard and I have seen articles, things about that being absolutely true. My question is there really a rise in homosexuality, particularly within the black male community or the black female community, or in society in general? Is there a rise, and if there is a rise, an actual rise, why is that? Because if you look, let's go back to the 1950s, 60s. Um, okay, obviously the population was lower back then, but what was the average rate or the average number of homosexuality then versus now? And if it was less then, why is that? Okay, if more people were in the closet then, I could see that it wouldn't be an issue. But if if the actual population of gay people was less back 50, 60 years ago, you know, versus obviously we have a larger population now than back then. But I mean, if you compare the two, um, if we have a larger population in the homosexuality community today, why is that? And why aren't we talking more about you know deaths with African American males in particular when it comes to HIV/AIDS due to homosexuality? So I'm gonna let him talk a little bit more, and I'm not. I don't have I do have an opinion, but I won't state my opinion here. I'll just and what I'll do probably going forward is just uh, give information or just speak on certain topics. I won't give my opinion on certain things because you know opinions are like assholes. Everybody got them. No pun intended.
What America did. You understand? So killing black men is critical towards killing the black family. It's critical to you can get a black woman, but if you can get rid of that man, she has nobody to impregnate her. You see? And so that's why killing the black man, who is the defense of the community, has always been a priority of this government. And killing his identity as a man can be more effective than killing his body. Because by killing his identity as a man, you now can use him as an influencer amongst other young black men to do the same thing. Homosexuality is a brilliant population control strategy because
I'm going to stop it again. Before I even go any further, I started listening to Umar Johnson, I want to say around 2008 or 9. It's been a while. But I do not agree with every single thing that he says. One thing in particular is interracial dating. Obviously, I don't believe in that because my wife is not black. She does have some African in her, but it's only about 5%. She's Native American, Hispanic, and like I said, she has some African American in her. African, Moroccan, I think it is. Um, so I don't agree with every single thing. Other things that he says, I kind of question the school that he's been building on or working on now for I don't even know how long, about 10 years, I guess. Still not up. And I can understand, he's having serious financial issues, and he, he preaches family, and it's cool to preach family, but you also have to show and prove when it comes to family, because I think he has a daughter outside. He's not married, and he has a daughter. Um, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't knock people for that, but you got to kind of be about it. If you're gonna talk about it, you gotta be about it. So I take away, like anybody else, I take away his good points and I run with those. And the things I don't necessarily agree with, you know, I don't agree with. But let's go a little bit further with what he's saying.
Because unlike abortion, unlike genocide, unlike homicide, unlike suicide, you prevent life from being created. See, with abortion, you take a life, but conception has already happened. She might choose not to get rid of it. You can shoot somebody, but they're not guaranteed to die. But if you can convince little black girls not to reproduce for little black boys, if you can produce little black girls not to produce with little black boys, that's a recipe for genocide. And once the death rate exceeds the birth rate, once the death rate exceeds the birth rate, you can mathematically predict the extinction of any people. That's what they're working on right now. Thank God for the brothers and sisters who still having babies, because had it not been for them, who...
Now, when he said that's what they're working on right now, I don't, that's a conspiracy theory. I don't necessarily know if anybody's working on anything, but I do believe that could be used as a tool to control the population, just like abortion can be used to control the population, and that's any race of people. Um, I believe that uh, the black population, more so than anybody else, maybe Hispanics come in second, and these are not facts. This is my own opinion. I think we are having more abortions than anybody else. I could be completely wrong. It could be white people. I don't know, but I know that Planned Parenthoods are in a lot of underserved communities, um, and I know that they push it on us a lot more. I know that Atlanta has one of the highest numbers of homosexual black men and women, and a lot of other cities, Los Angeles. It's a big thing. It's just, and in the back of my mind, I'm like, maybe there is a group of people that come together and discuss things like world population, population control, and from there, it could be a trickle down effect through propaganda and through these different techniques that they can use in media, movies, television, music, you know, that propagate uh, homosexuality and population control. You know, and if you really pay attention to certain things, you will notice that, hey, you know, the family is not promoted nearly as much as uh, the rainbow movement. You know, we don't even and you think about things like it's almost 8 billion people on this planet, and they say scientists make all these predictions about world hunger and the environment, uh, you know, global warming and all these natural disasters occurring because of pollution and global warming. And you think, it probably would be if there was a group of people in some room in some on some secret island discussing things. The elite, I guess. All of this could be true. All of it could be true. So I don't deny any. Or I don't downplay anything. I don't. I mean, you never know. There's so many things that I have researched over the years and found out that our government has done the craziest things, in particular to black and brown people. One thing in particular, I found out that they had this thing going where they were sterilizing women. Um, Not too long ago, this is in the 70s, I think, 60s and 70s. It was like actually sterilizing. You go to the doctor to get a procedure done, and next thing you know, you're sterilized. A woman is barren; she can no longer have kids. You know, they had a lady in North Carolina who was she had a story she came out with, and she talked about how the you know she was one of those people that got victimized by this secret um, operation they had going on. You know, so I don't doubt anything. You know, things that are going on right now that we don't know, like the vaccine. I'm vaccinated, but hopefully these vaccines are good. You know, they put us in a spot to where when you actually see people dying from COVID, and you have the option of potentially getting COVID and dying yourself, or getting real sick, and you know some people never fully recover, or taking this vaccine and hoping that it doesn't kill you. So, you know, we'll put in a real tough spot, and but yeah, so that's my little spill this morning. I got to do some work here. Um, Once again, thank you all for all the love that I'm receiving. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're loving the content, if you like the content, like, subscribe. If you are not already subscribed, share. It's very important to hit that like button. Um, and I think I'm realizing now that a lot of people, some people, click on the video, maybe watch a little bit of it, and don't make it to the end. So I need to start saying like and subscribe earlier, I guess. But anyways, shout out to all y'all. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful Tuesday. If you're interested, if you read fiction, I'm a fictional writer, African American fictional writer. And you can find my books at writethisway.com. That's WRITEDISWAY.com. I'll put it in the description. I have 3 novels out, 1 poetry book, and I have 1 novel that I'm working on now. It should be done within the next few months. Um, Salute to all that came this far. You guys have a wonderful Tuesday. This is my T-shirt that I got from the Black Ink Festival in Charleston, South Carolina. I think this is the first one I went to. Behind me is my great grandmother, Miss Martha Moore. Okay, y'all have a good one.